Good evening, everyone. It's been a little while since y'all have heard from me. I haven't been making as many trade recap videos. Most of that is due to just the quantity of trades I'm taking has went down a lot during the holiday season. Nonetheless, the quality of the trades have still been very good. And I want to go over a day trade from last Friday. Was able to capture 180% return on a rising wedge chart pattern. Then we had a continuation of that chart pattern breakout. I swung puts from last Friday into over the weekend and into today, as well as waiting for the futures market to reopen Sunday evening, and got in and caught a great massive move down on ES as well. So we're going to cover all that in this video, and let's just get right into it. So here on the screen is the charting I gave the team in the Discord on Friday. I was looking at this rising wedge pattern, and it was forming up into this previous supply zone, right? You can see where we failed to break above, and then we get this break down, right? We flush down. Then you got your higher high trend line and your higher low trend line getting narrower, forming the rising wedge pattern. So I was looking to short it. We had multiple confluences, the supply zone, the rising wedge chart pattern, and then if we look at the indicators, right, the RSI was up near this 70 range where you're considered overbought. The sell signal MACD cross was setting up and taking place, and it was in the upper zone. That's where you'd like to see the sell signal cross. And buying momentum was starting to leave the market with this rounding and the dark blue bars. So all the indicators have bearish sentiment, bearish chart pattern, and price was at a supply zone. So A plus short setup. And then there you have it. We broke out to the downside. You'll see here in a second. I told the team I was entering it around roughly 10 o'clock and rode it all the way down for a couple hours throughout the day and was able to capture a massive move. And then here's just an example you could find with a quick Google search. You have the sell-off, rising wedge, continuation to the downside, and that's what we had. Sell-off, rising wedge, continuation to the downside. So let's walk through this step by step. All right. At 8:10, I'm Eastern time, so the market opens at 9:30 over here. So this was pre-market. I'm watching price form. I wasn't in any kind of position yet, but nonetheless, I told the team I was looking to short SPY based on this chart, right? Then at 9:50, 20 minutes after market open, I told them that I was hopping in SPY puts here, which contracts I was taking. The market had a little bit of a bounce. I'd rather let it bounce and then get in. So that's exactly what I did. I got the bounce I was looking for. Things started to look bearish on the smaller time frames after the initial bounce at open. So that's where I got in, trusting what I seen on the higher time frames. All right. Then at 10:17, so roughly half an hour into the trade, I was already up 100%. Those are hard to come by. You don't get those every day. So definitely went ahead and took profits. So I trimmed 3 of my 5 contracts. Then 10:35, again, not much longer. I'm already up 150%. So I trimmed 1 more of the 2 runners I was holding. And I hinted that I'd like to hold until 1:30 for the next 4-hour candle to form. And we'll see that I didn't quite get there because I had already seen 180% return. All right, there you have it, 12:12. So about an hour and a half later, not quite to that 1:30 mark where I was planning on holding the last run or two. But as you can see, our entry price was $195 a contract, and it was currently worth $550, over 180%. So I sold the last runner for $358. Total on that trade for the day was $1,200. So that was a massive, massive move we were able to capture. All right, and then I told you I caught that move on Friday. Going into the end of the day, just based on the higher time frames, I was expecting more continuation to the downside, and I didn't want to miss out on that. So I took a light entry and SPY puts on my other account, actually my Robinhood account here. You can see one contract, 1227. I bought it on Friday, and I took the January 10th 590 puts. And this morning, we'll zoom in here. So you can see this is the 4-hour chart. Here's that move we caught that we just looked at in the last couple slides. There's the initial break. This here is over the weekend. These couple small 4-hour candles, not a lot going on because there's no volume. And then this was the dump and pre-market. So if I didn't swing, I would have missed out on this move down. And then this green candle, you can see the lower wick. This is how far we pushed down at open. And I went ahead and got out. And I'm glad I did because that was quite a reversal. And you can see if you go straight to the left, this is a demand zone. Large bounce there, massive bounce there. So as price re-entered that, I was comfortable taking my profits. So I got out, as you can see, for 110% return, if you will. All right. So we had the day trade, we had the swing trade. Let's look at ES, the futures trade. Okay. So it looks identical to SPY, right? 4-hour time frame, had the initial drop. Market opens for futures at I think it's 5 or 6 p.m. It was about 11 p.m. when I entered. We hadn't broke out to the downside, but I was still expecting that. So again, I went light, just one sell order, and was able to catch 50 ticks. That is a massive, massive move if you know anything about futures. And that was $2,500. And again, 9 hours held from midnight till 9:30 at market open this morning. So hope you found that helpful. These rising wedge patterns have been presenting themselves a lot more lately. Almost makes me think we're potentially, setting up for a pullback in the market. I don't think we're going to quite enter a bearish market again at this point, but nonetheless, whenever these patterns present themselves, when we're overextended, when the market's at all-time highs and due for a pullback, and resting at a supply zone, that's when I find that these are the most high probability setups. So look for them in the future and hope you can use them to make you some money either in the options trading market or futures. See you all in the next video.